Alrighty. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hold on. Yeah. What is up? This is episode 2, and I'm pretty sure by this time I have a little bit. I haven't posted episode 1 at this time, but it is recorded, edited, and ready. Sorry, I didn't even introduce myself. I didn't even start. Restart. Hi, I'm Maya. This is my channel, and this is a podcast usually held at night. It'll probably be rare seeing it held during the day, but yeah, this is my channel, and I talk about all sorts of different things here. I talk about different philosophical points, theories. I can dabble in conspiracy theories, how I view the world, different things I'm learning as I am still a teenager and in college. I'm just here figuring it out, and I want to see if anyone wants to do that with me. It's the spooky season. I have my spooky clothes on with my spooky pants. Logan got these for me, my partner. He's freaking amazing. He's in the room right now playing guitar, practicing. I have a lot to discuss. I feel like this video might be a little bit more organized, maybe because I have a little bit more notes, maybe more things I want to go over. Yeah, but like, one of the first things I want to discuss, it's weird because it's quiet, and whenever I talk to myself, there's usually like things in the background, and yes, I do regularly talk to myself. So there's so many different things. Now, first thing I wanted to talk about is probably the music you're hearing in the background. I love music. I don't think I gave it enough credit in the last video, but I absolutely adore it in every way. Mainly, I talked about how like it can help you form habits, and what I mean by that is last video I talked about how just watch the last video. I talked about how music can help form your habits, and habit is what makes our character. Say a person like does something out of their character, that means they had to do something in a regular like situation, an event. Normally, that means they created a habit out of it. That is what you know them as. That means their habit equals that character. Your habits equal your character. Whatever you choose to put your time and effort into is your character. And so I believe music is a great part of someone's character, especially because it expresses it in so many different ways. Music is one of those things that where anyone can like jump into it, and then their soul, mind, or fingers or voice just expresses how they feel in such a different way than someone else's, and that's why I love it so much. But the music you're hearing in the background is actually a lo-fi beat. First of all, I have to thank my boyfriend, because he really got me into music, just discovering a whole bunch of new music, and then getting to play music. Like, I actually picked up an instrument for the first time because him and his friends have like a band, and they were like, we need a bassist, and I was like, oh, maybe I could play. And you know what? Bass is like, you don't even have to be like fucking amazing at it for it to sound decent, you know? So I've just been learning. I'm a beginner. Like, I still believe myself to be a beginner, and I'm learning, and it's just a whole new world, because now I listen to music and I'm like, oh, I really hear it now. I can hear it when there's not a person playing, like say it's like an engineer, like a music engineer doing it, and it's a soundboard and not a real person playing. Like, I can tell. Or if it's a real person playing, I can tell how good they are, how experienced they are. I'm like, it's just a different world to me. Sorry if I have any oil or wetness on my face. I just took a shower and washed my hair. Anyway, so this is probably, I don't know if I added in a second track, because at this moment I made a different lo-fi beat, and it's not that like my main genre of music that I love to make is lo-fi. It's just for the videos. The videos are like, listen, this topic is actually going to branch into another topic that I have already, but I wanted to create my own music for these videos, the own background music, because segueing in, I hate AI. And recently on YouTube, because I've been on YouTube for such a long time, not filming, not creating, but as just a listener, and not a listener, or watcher and listener, all the way from like back in 2012, and I used to watch everyone's cover videos of all the best songs with their shitty mics and their shitty cameras, and I was like, I don't care if it's professional or janky, I just want to watch you play it your way. Or to the vlogs, like watching Mac Dizzle or Jezebel, or podcast-esque people like Call Me Chris, and I wouldn't say Meat Canyon. That's more like, Meat Canyon is like animations, but the actual creator, Hunter, I think he has 3 channels, and one he like tells stories, and I love stories. I have a lot of ideas about this channel, and I really hope I get to actually share some of my other types of art. Like I showed you things that I make physically, but I'm also a writer. Anyways, we'll get into that later. Back to the AI and the music, and I've been on YouTube for a long time is what I'm trying to say, and I've seen it change a lot over the past like few years with just the amount of AI like in thumbnails and the AI music, especially in like the lo-fi community. Like if I want to study, I realize how repetitive it is and how empty it feels, and I'm like, this person used AI, especially now that I'm more into music in my life. I think that is a blessing. Like I think Logan coming into my life and introducing me to like a variety of music showed me how different ways humans express themselves and what that expression looks like. And when you then listen / watch something that is expressionless, you can see it. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it, because it's just such a lack of effort. And I don't want that. I don't want to go, because I took video production, and the best way to like put music in the back of a video is to just go on YouTube, look up any video with a short enough, and then turn it into an MP3 and not an MP4, and then just shove it into a video. My brain is like on 10 right now. So that segues into like just my art in the music. I just wanted a little bit more effort put into it. Mainly I wanted to go for like a Halloween vibe, and then every time I looked up lo-fi beats on Halloween, I just had this aching feeling that if it was posted this year or last year, that it was AI, and I didn't want that. I didn't want that, especially if it would get copyrighted. Copywriting AI music is crazy, because first of all, AI takes from other people's art and just throws it together hoping it sounds good to us. It doesn't even know if it sounds good. It just hopes that whatever it produces is a positive or negative feedback, because then it'll keep doing it or keep not doing it, because we are a bunch of zeros and O's to the system and the AI, just as it is zeros and O's to us, because whatever input we give it, that's how it reacts and then alters its thinking and its the way it produces things, and then just puts it back in front of us just so it could get feedback from us, and then we could get feedback from it, and it's just like it's not real, and I wanted it to be real. And so that was my little rant about AI, because I'm also in college, and a lot of the college students nowadays are using AI, and you know what? In the first semester of college, I understand, because I had really tough classes, and then what that taught me is that if you use AI to breeze through college, and you don't know what you're going to be good at. You don't know if, not only do you not know what you're going to be good at, when you get to your job, you're not going to know what the fuck to do. And so if I was ever going to get, I wanted a major that like I loved enough to put enough effort in it to know what I'm taught, to study enough to know what I'm talking about, and to to you about and to talk to other people about and expand in a wide variety of topics. And do it fluently in a way that you understand. And that is something that I value. And that's something that I wanted to learn. And people aren't doing that. People are just not. They want to breeze through things that are difficult. And AI and people using AI is a very obvious thing of that. Sorry, I still don't know how to fix that. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Okay, so I still don't know how to fix my camera turning off, but anyways, I just want to continue about how art's important and how AI is bad, and that also leads into me what next. No, I was talking about how making bad art, like how people use AI because they don't want to get good at something, because getting good at something requires being bad at something. And then let me tell you, something I know for sure is that the path to where you going starts where you are, and where you are is a uphill battle. You see that where you're going is a muddy path filled with dirt, and it's raining and it's snowing and it's filled with sleet, and you know what, it's filled with streams, and you know what, you realize you gotta swim. It's not even a path you can walk on. You might even have to build a boat, you know, depending on your situation or scenario, or depending on where you're deciding to trek. Because listen, if you didn't want to go up the mountain, there's always down the mountain, and there is a place down there for you if you want to be there. And depending on what your mountain looks like, depending on if it's a rolling hill or Mount Everest, you're gonna go through struggle. At some point, your calves are gonna hurt and your thighs are gonna hurt, and it's gonna really suck. And so that is not with life. That is with every single skill. That is with every single person, relationship you form, and that is with every step you take forward or backward. Because if you decide to go down that hill and then at some point you're like, you know what, maybe I don't want to be here anymore, and you decide to climb up that hill, you have like twice the mileage you gotta go now because you decided to roll your ass down that hill and fuck up a few times. But that's life. The thing is that failure is a skill in itself. Not only do you have to like climb up that fucking mountain and do it willingly and happily, you're gonna roll your ankle, you're gonna build that boat, it's gonna leak and it's gonna fall apart, and then you're gonna climb up that mountain, you're gonna finally get halfway and you're like, damn, this is a nice view, and you're gonna trip and you're gonna tumble and fall. And then not only are you gonna tumble and fall, you're gonna end up on the wrong path and you're like, where the fuck am I? And then just like how the chances you ended up on that wrong path got you there, like it's just a coin flip and you just stumble down the wrong way, there isn't a chance that you can find your way back on the right path again. So even if you don't know where you're going, what you're doing, how you're gonna do it, there's always a way. Say you're on a good path and then on a bad path. You're on the path and then bad luck happens and then you tumble and then you fall and then now you're in a bad path. Fuck, shit. What do I do? What do I do? That means that there are still paths in front of you. And say that like, oh, well, if there's no paths, sweetheart, someone had to walk the paths for them to be there. That means you're just gonna have to be the first one to walk it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to find your own way out with or without no path. And then if there's a path, good for you. That means that someone found the way out and then you're gonna follow their footsteps. And there's no wrong in that. That means that is one step in your life that has been figured out, because if you're going through life and every path has been planned out for you and there's always a solution to an answer that you have, then you have not experienced life enough. You have not expanded your life enough. That means, because like no one has discovered the faultiness of everything, because no one has discovered the answer to everything. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to make your own path if you're going on a bad path, and then if you're on a good path and go on a bad path. Say you're on a bad path. And then you're like, fuck, where are all the paths? Now you're here and you're like, dang. Now you're walking around, say you're walking around in circles. That's your vices. You have virtues and vices. Those are your vices. You're walking around in circles. The trees, you don't know where you're going. You keep getting lost. You know that scene in Lord of the Rings when the ring was fucking with them and being like, and then like they were getting all dazed and confused and they were walking backwards and forwards, but they didn't know they were walking backwards and forwards. Yeah, the ring is your vices. And so when you're doing that and you're walking around in circles, at some point, because there's a reason why there's like the Hobbit movies and the Lord of the Ring movies. So they got out of the forest. That means that you can get out of the forest. I don't know. If there's a magical ring talking to you, fucking with your mind, and they figured out how to get out, then you can figure out how to get out of this mythical, rhetorical situation, right? Is it rhetorical? Theoretical situation. Right. Hypothetical. I don't know. Hypothetical situation. I think it was hypothetical. Okay, all right. So that's what I'm saying. So good path, say you're on a good path and you go on a bad path, there's still paths on the way out. You just have to make your own. And say on your bad path and you're a good path, oh, same thing. Say bad path, then you just gotta keep fucking going on paths until you find the right way out. That's the thing about life, is that you always kind of have options. Unless you're like shackled and chained to a wall, and that's why slavery is horrible. And I had a whole intro. I did have an intro. Maybe I'll just do it now. Like, no. I was supposed to be like, oh, the seasons are changing and it's fall time, and that means it's time to talk about scary topics, and scary topics are about life. But I already talked to you about all the scary topics about life. I just kind of threw them at you. But it is fall time. It's so beautiful outside. It's windy. It's been windy all day. And I can't wait for the cozy season. I hate the cold, but I do love the holidays. So gotta give what you gotta give and take here. Anyway, I feel like I'm a little bit more well-spoken in this video. I feel like I'm a little bit more comfortable. I think I just had the first, like, just the nervousness, you know. I have some reading to do tomorrow for my philosophy. I've done so much reading and I've seen such an improvement in my like reading skills. It's been great. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about. If people didn't perfect certain things, they couldn't teach other people. And so that's why I believe that, like, if you ever learn anything, it should be with your heart and with your reason and with your desire. It shouldn't be out of spite or out of anger or out of greed, because that means you have to teach it to other people, and you're not even going to be teaching it for the right reasons. You're not, because you didn't even learn it for the right reasons. Because one of the things about virtue is that you have to want to learn it. You have to want to love what you are building the skill in, or say that, or not even the building the skill, doing anything. So you have to mean to build good habits. That means that's what it means to be virtuous. You can build habits that are beneficial to you and great, but if you're not actually deliberately working to improve yourself in that specific thing knowingly, then you're not being virtuous, and then you're not really striving for excellence, and then you're really depriving yourself. And so that's why I wanted to make my own lo-fi beat. That yes, it did lead all back to that. It did, all right? Anyway, that we got. That all has its own message. It's not just about the lo-fi beat. It's about anything that I create, really. What else do I want to talk about? Hold on. Striving better for yourself is exactly how your parents put you in a better situation than they were in, or how your grandparents and their parents put them in a better situation than your grandparents were in. It's just evolution. It's life. Things are supposed to be getting better. Just like your skills. Your skills, your habits, your character, things that you strive for, your excellence is exactly programmed in you because you're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to grow. That's how humans evolved. That's how we got better. That's how we got smarter. So when you go and you go to these sources for instant gratification, for AI, for instant knowledge, you're depriving yourself of that growth that you're supposed to be building on the knowledge that we have access to. You're not supposed to be abusing it. And you know you're abusing it when you're not. Did I push? Okay, I did push 5. You know you're abusing it when you're not creating things with the knowledge that you have. And I find this all very important, and I just spat so much shit, and I just wanted, and that's just what I believe. That's why I made this channel, and I feel like this is such a more coherent explanation of that. Because in the last episode, I was very nervous. But then I edited the video, and I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay that if it's not perfect. It's okay if I miss a few things. It's okay. Because it's supposed to be. That's the thing. There's a lot of people in life going through really horrible things, and I want to take the opportunity with the resources I have to create as great as a life as I can for myself. And that is the job that you're kind of given when your soul was put into your body. This is another thing that Aristotle talks about. I'm pretty sure the Nicomathian ethics, right? Nico is actually his son's name. I don't know what Nicomathian is, but it's just basically a blueprint for living a good life. And he believes that, as I said, habit, character, good, the chief good, the being just striving for excellence is how we got here as a society.